If you're struggling to lose weight, eating less food, and doing more cardio, I'm going to share with you a case study on my client Mitch, who's quite literally eating 1,200 calories more per day and shredded in just 8 weeks. If you guys don't know me by now, my name's Adam Bunnell. I'm an online fat loss professional. I specialize in hormonal priming, body recomposition, and higher level forms of nutrition. I've quite literally worked with dozens and dozens of men in the past struggling to get lean and have successfully helped dozens and dozens of those men get to the most shredded they've ever been using a form of metabolic priming. It's a form of metabolism manipulation. So in this video, I want to break down the exact consultation I had with Mitch, his step-by-step 8-week progression, and how I got him this shredded eating more food. It's quite literally a concept that nobody on the internet thinks that I am doing with all of my clients, but it is actual process of metabolism manipulation through actual correct hormonal adaptations within correct nutritional key factors, right? And it is the most predictable and the most sustainable method of actually losing body fat eating more food. And you're more than happy to go check out my entire training on it on my main channel. But I want to break down the actual case study behind Mitch right here and how he's got as shredded as he did in 8 weeks eating more food. So in my initial consultation with Mitch, in his initial consultation, he mentioned that he'd only been eating 13 to 1,500 calories per day and had been plateaued over about 2 months. So no matter how low he got his calories, he just felt like he was spinning his wheels, and he started to experience low sleep, low energy levels, brain fog, and those are the exact depictions of, you know, what happens when you go hypocaloric, right? And start to reduce a bunch of calories. Your body starts to fight back at it, right? And so what I use with Mitch is a process of what's called metabolic priming, which is actually priming his metabolism to get it to burn more food. So he wanted to get a six-pack, like most of my clients do, who doesn't want a six-pack. He wants to bring out his lats and shoulders, wants to look bigger and wider, right? So I went ahead and pulled up a picture of his back real quick just to show you guys the damage done on Mitch's back right here, which is absolutely wicked in just 8 weeks, and how much more defined, how much deeper his cuts are. And this is eating more food, right? Not only is his waist got more tapered, he got more definition on our shoulders. So, I'd say that we quite literally nailed that goal for him. But anyways, he wanted to get shredded. He wants to bring out his shoulders and want to look more wide. So it's exactly what we did. But I'm going to explain to you exactly how, with the plan, we got him there, right? So the plan was to slowly work him out of his large deficit and implement a good fat goal and a good protein goal based upon the EA formula. My company, Elevation Athletics, I have a formula that I've created for all my clients on the back end where I simply just plug my clients' information in the formulas, and we know exactly down to the protein, carbs, fats, calories, what your body actually needs in the form of correct hormonal implementation to get you leaner, to increase your metabolism, and to actually lean you out and dry you out as well. And so I put his information in my formulas, and we wanted to really optimize his protein and his fat goal, right? Protein, for instance, it has a very high thermic effect scientifically, which means that, the more protein you eat, the more protein that you burn, right? It has a 30% thermic effect as opposed to 0 from fat and 10 from carbohydrates. But we also wanted to focus on the fat intake, right? Because a lot of my guy clients who come to me are overeating on fat intake, right? So we need to dial back that fat intake a little bit to help a little bit of nutrient absorption and nutrient digestion, right? And so fat intake metabolizes hormone levels. It increases testosterone. It increases, all natural sources of human growth hormone. And so we really wanted to dial in his fat intake and make sure that he was getting the correct fat intake to reduce any type of gut inflammation, but also make sure we get enough fat intake to improve a lot of the hormonal factors with this energy and brain fog he's been kind of going with as well. So with that, we kind of backfilled the rest with a little bit of carbohydrates because we wanted to, when he mentioned that he had been struggling with like severe hunger. Obviously, yes, when you're not eating very much food, that you do suffer from severe hunger. But actually introducing carbohydrates back into his diet after you've been, basically cutting carbs for a really long time, we wanted to really mitigate the leptin and ghrelin levels, right? So carbohydrates do a couple of specific things in the human body. One, it reduces adrenal fatigue, reduces inflammation, improves brain fog with glucose running the main primary source of the brain, but also increases leptin and reduces ghrelin. Leptin being the satiety hormone, ghrelin being the hunger hormone, right? So we wanted to increase his satiety and decrease his hunger, right? So we just can't just give him straight macronutrients though, right? We can't just give him protein, carbs, and fats because we give him a protein goal, we give him a fat goal, backfill the rest with carbohydrates to meet right around 2,000 calories, right here, because we wanted to start him off about 500 calories above what he already been currently eating. Majority-wise, just making sure he gets a correct fat intake, the correct protein intake. We started his carbohydrates extremely low because carbohydrates are, in some people, they're very sensitive in your body. The carbohydrates is probably the main macromolecule that people actually get wrong in the form of not eating enough or eating too much. You don't eat enough, a lot of your hormones get drowned out. You eat too much, you get fat. Sorry. But anyways, we wanted to really nail that carbohydrate goal. But we wanted to start them 500 calories above to, first of all, get a good protein goal, get a good fat goal. But the thing is, you can't just just give someone a macronutrient formula but do nothing with it, right? We had to pair them with the strength training program, right? Because we want to be utilizing those carbohydrates to good use, to growing lean muscle tissue. Because muscle tissue has a metabolic presence in the human body, which makes it, more muscle tissue be able to raise your metabolism, right? So we wanted to pair him with a good strength training program, and he's never really had like a correct strength training program in the form of an actual exercise science-based program. And I've been building, custom nutrition programs, custom training programs for, quite some time now. And so I want to actually give him a custom training program that's going to align with his goals of building his back up and building his shoulders wider, right? And then we increase food slowly, really adding food into his, basal metabolic rate, since it makes up 60% of the metabolism, and basically just increasing his metabolism with the food. So when he came to me on the left, and this is where it gets kind of wicked, he was at 197 in this left picture, 197 and eating 1,500 calories, and on the right, 193, 5 pounds down, eating 2,700 calories. Same thing in this picture. This is 1,500 calories. This is quite literally 1,200 calories more per day. So, and he's at 193, 5 pounds down. So let's kind of go like the step-by-step transformation of how we kind of got this done for Mitch. So one, he started with me on 8/1, so exactly to today's date, 8 weeks later, right? Which makes this not only an incredible 8-week transformation, but we really, really nailed his macronutrients, right? So on 8/1, he basically started with me, and we started him off at 2,000 calories, right? Like I said. And just in the first week, he started to lean out just a little bit, right? Just getting more food, 500 calories more per day. His side shot started to lean out significantly, and I was like, okay, yeah, we nailed the protein, we nailed the fat goal. He started to really suction cup dry. And then I gave him a little bit more carbs on the 8th, right? And the next week he checked in, and he actually started to get like a little bit better build to him. His back started to fill up with glycogen, because you got to remember that like what's inside the muscle is water, right? And what water is it's like carbohydrates are an osmotic compound, which like you need carbohydrates intramuscular to fill you out and make you feel and look tighter, to expand that muscle into the skin to make you look and appear leaner, right? And so we gave him a little bit more carbohydrates to fill him out with glycogen a little bit more. And then that third week on the 22nd, he really started to lean out in his front shot, right? His back started to get bigger. And I said, okay, we're at 2,200 calories. I wanted to give him 25 more grams of carbohydrates, right? And he started to lean out even more, right? And I was like, okay, we've nailed the protein intake. We've nailed the fat intake. Now we just got to slowly work carbohydrates back into his diet and make sure that he's not gaining any fat in the meantime, right? Because like if you add carbohydrates too quick in your body, you will gain weight. Like the body is designed to store food. Like it wants to store food for later usage. And so you have to slowly give it food so it's not storing any food in the form of body fat. Gave him 25 more grams of carbohydrates, and then just boom, started to lean out even more. Back started to get bigger, and we gave him more carbohydrates. Checked in this day. He still leaned out even more. And when he checked in this day, I was like, dude, Mitch, what the hell? But notice where he started from right here, how much tighter, how much leaner, and now how much tapered he's looking. Side shot's looking lean. Back is starting to fill out even more with the strength training we've provided him. And this week, we actually gave him one more week to kind of for his body adjust. If I remember correctly, he spiked up a little bit in weight, which isn't a bad deal. Because the thing is that yes, he's down 5 pounds, but we don't a lot of people don't really care about the weight. People correlate the weight too much to how they look, but that's not the case. The weight is not the only factor on the scale. For my clients, weight is number 5 tracker of progress for me. There's a bunch of other factors at play before I even think about their weight, but specifically how he looks, right? Because people want to look lean, people want to get shredded. And so we checked in the next week, and he was right around 192, 193-ish. Because I remember this was 2 weeks ago. On the 19th, we actually gave him 25 more grams of carbohydrates. So now he's at 2,600 calories. And on the 16th, I actually gave him a little bit more fat intake, right? Because like when he checked in on the 26th, I was like, holy crap. Okay, yeah. And here's the thing, guys. Like, yes, he's made significant progress right here. Like, these side-by-sides are literally disgusting. But he's eating 1,200 more calories per day, right? So what it looks forward going for Mitch is that, like, he's not even, like, a quarter of way through his entire program. So we're going to actually bring his calories up even more within these next few weeks. And then once we get to him a higher amount in the form of making sure we're getting enough food on our belly and optimizing our digestion, BMR, metabolism, then we start him doing cardio. Because you guys have to realize that Mitch hasn't been doing any cardio up until this point. He's been walking a little bit. All he's been doing is eating more and strength training, right? And that's the impact that actually getting the correct macronutrients has for you. Once you nail the macronutrients, there's just a synergistic effect of how you look. Because scientifically, if you break down calories, micronutrients, calories affect your weight, macronutrients affect how you look, and micronutrients affect how you feel. So we're looking for the look, right? So we've had to really nail the macronutrients. But he really started to tighten up. So like within the next couple of weeks, we're going to continue to bring him up, continue to tighten him up, and then we're going to start doing just a little bit of cardio and put him in a tiny bit of a deficit, and he's going to just absolutely shred weight off, right? I mean, that's same thing I do with every single one of my clients. Like, they're all like up. It's 45 grams of carbs, 450 grams of carbs, 1,000 more calories a day. 1,300 more calories a day, 1,400 more calories a day, 800 more calories a day, 300 calories more a day, 400 calories more a day, 500 calories more per day. Like, this is such a repeatable process. And like, I've worked with so many clients and it's worked every single time. It's just the most predictable way of actually losing body fat because you optimize your actual hormones. I've done years of research into this, and there's no other better way to get to the leanest you've ever want and actually sustain it long term than actually optimizing your hormones to get there. Because if you don't, you're just kind of like, you're playing against the body, which is like way smarter than you are. And, you could be doing all the cardio in the world, could be starving yourself to the end of the world. But if you put in effort in the wrong places, it doesn't really matter, right? You just have to put the right effort in the right places. So if you are somebody who is struggling to get lean, you've been struggling for some time now, you're under 2,000 calories, you're starving, you feel like crap, but you want to get shredded. Like, you want to get as lean as humanly possible, but you want to actually sustain it and have a good, healthy, long physique for longer. There's going to be an application link below. Go ahead and instead fill out a time. We'll jump on a call and see if it's good fit together. Good fit for us to work together. If it is, I'll customize a current plan for you, kind of like I did Mitch, with a custom training program, a custom nutrition program, and you can join the other 78 guys that I currently work with and get to the leanest they've ever been. It's an amazing community, but if you do sign up for a time, make sure you come prepared, because I don't like my time being wasted, so show up prepared and make sure to bring your credit card information ready to go and ready to rock and roll, because, I like working with people who are really down and want to get started day one, right? Because all my clients are action takers, and just like Mitch right here, like that's why he is the way he is. So if like I said, if you have been struggling, go sign up for time down below. If you're not, if you're just stopping by to see all my clients making disgusting progress, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.